I would guess that the overwhelming majority of people don't read the description. And just the way that Etsy has it structured, it's not even that clear. Like when you go to a listing, you have to actually try and find the description. You know what I mean? They keep it kind because it used to be that when you would go to Etsy, like the pictures were up top, the description was right beneath it. And it was like it was clear. Now it's like to the right and it's like buried and it's
And there's only 2 or 3 lines, and it says click
yeah.
to read more or something. So,
Yeah, so I wouldn't.
I have a free SEO guide for you that goes in depth on SEO strategies and best practices so that you can apply them right away and get more traffic, get more sales at the end of the day. If you want that, type SEO in the comments, or if you're listening to the podcast, look in the show notes and I will send you over that link so you can start using that stuff right away.
I wouldn't do something crazy long. Now, I think that that is good. That is good, especially depending on what you're selling. I mean, you're selling photography. You're selling photography. There's a story behind it, meaning behind it. So I think that it's good to have some of that in there. And by doing that, you're going to have a lot of those natural keywords, which are going to help you in terms of SEO. But I think you should keep it condensed. You know what I mean? And keep like the important stuff is what you want to have in there. I mean, you can have a paragraph on the story, who it's for, why someone should buy it, something like that. But you also want to have the important stuff in your descriptions too. If someone does need additional information, you don't want to have a story that someone has to scroll the whole way down. Then the other important stuff is at the bottom, and they didn't even get that far. You know, they lost they're like, oh well, my attention span's gone. I'm off doing something else.
yeah.
So if there's anything important, like how the item comes, how it comes shipped, ordering instructions, care instructions, and I would recommend breaking those out into sections with headings. So if someone's scrolling down, it's like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Here is the answers to my questions. This is the reason I'm going to buy. This is the reason I'm not going to buy. So that's how I would approach it. I think you can still fit a story. It's just going to have to be, I would think brevity is probably going to be more beneficial than a whole lengthy story.
Well, what I've been doing lately now, especially now that ChatGPT allows you to send a file,
Mm-hmm.
I send ChatGPT the photo that I'm trying to sell and ask it to write a 250 word, I won't say sales pitch, but story about the picture, and then I put that in, and I find that especially now that I'm sending them the photograph, there's very little more that I have to say that they don't already pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that at the top, and then I have a whole section on production and shipping, on the different ways that people can order and what that means.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. Yeah, any question that someone will have or has had should be in your description, because it's gonna come up. You don't want, confused buyers don't buy, and people aren't going to reach out and ask questions a lot of the time because they don't think they're going to get a response fast. So then they'll move on and they'll buy something else, because a lot of people are in the buying mode. They're not going to wait, which is another reason why you should download the Sell on Etsy app and have push notifications set up for people that do ask questions. Because if you answer those questions right away, people are 9 times out of 10 they're going to buy, because you're going to blow them away with a quick answer. If you can, obviously you're driving or something, you're not going to have to answer their questions. But yeah, I think ChatGPT is a great resource, especially now that you can have it do that. The other thing you can do in your prompt when you upload the picture is you can say, write a story, whatever, 250 words. Make sure you're including these keywords in the story, so you can make sure that it's hitting the most important keywords that are getting traffic and people are looking for. So if it's Utah mountain range, whatever, just include a list of the top keywords in the prompt, and then ChatGPT will put them in there, and then from an SEO standpoint, it's going to help you.
I have been asking it for three things: the sales description, an Etsy title, no more than 140 characters, including spaces, with 4 long tail keywords, and 13 Etsy tags. And I find that they come up with tags that, frankly, I would never have thought of.
Yeah, you can use it for keyword research. Just be careful, because sometimes it's not as high as traffic as you'd want it. So I think that's why it's good to cross-reference it if you're using a tool such as, Allura or eRank or any of those, just to kind of see like, okay, this is a keyword I haven't thought of, which could be a good thing. Just let's look at the traffic and make sure. So we're not wasting space on keywords that aren't bringing in a lot of traffic. But yeah, I think it's great to get a good idea for product research, for niche research, writing descriptions, social media posts, emails, blogs. Is a fantastic tool. We can move a lot faster, but a lot of it comes down to how you're writing the prompt and just giving it as much information. I mean, it's a language tool, so people don't give it enough information. Therefore, they don't get enough, they don't get as good of an output as they should. And so I think that's really important. And another pro tip for you, I don't know if I mentioned this before, is at the end of your prompts, especially if you're asking for something that's a little bit more substantial, at the end of the prompt, put in there, ask me clarifying questions until you're 95% confident you can complete this task successfully. So you're telling ChatGPT to analyze what you're wanting it to do, and if it can't do it as good as 95%, it's going to ask you follow-up questions, and then you're really going to get a great output. So it'll usually ask you like,
can you type that in the chat so I can copy that question?
Oh, that's extra.
Oh, come on, man. Working me here.
Yeah, it was good point. You can't remember that?
No.
Yeah, so here's in the chat. Yeah, so that'll make it next level, because it depending on your prompt. Now, if your prompt's really good, sometimes it will be like, okay, this is a summary of what I'm going to do. Is it good? Okay. But sometimes, usually it asks it like 5 follow-up questions, and then you can really dial in your prompt. So that's been definitely a game changer.